Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil. And I want to address, I think, the biggest thing that's changed with this Krayt Dragon Raid and the rewards that go along with it, especially with the Challenge Pit Raid no longer being in Galaxy of Heroes and taking away with it one of the most important pieces in the game, Aeromagnifiers, guys. So if you don't know what Aeromagnifiers are, they are the piece that you need to use for Relic 8. And for a very long time, the only way you were really getting these was through the Challenge Pit Raid, and then you can earn them through Hard Mode Conquest and Territory Wars if your guild is large enough. So there are some ways to get them, but primarily now, it's locked behind your shipments for crystals and the guild store, where your guild needs to be earning a certain number of points, or you on your personal track need to be earning a certain number of points. And there's no other way to get these. There's no other ways other than the absurd crystal costs. So this change is the one that I'd say is negative. I think a lot of the Krayt Dragon stuff, I think in time they're going to fix stuff, but I think with Aeromagnifiers, I'm very curious if they intentionally pulled them back. And the reason I'm saying that, I don't think it has to do with Executor. I don't think it has to do with Profundity. I think it has to do with Rise of the Empire. Rise of the Empire operations in these planets here, starting on Kessel, and then, you're going from like these ones here, from phases, what they would consider phase 4, 5, and 6, require Relic 8 and Relic 9 characters. And what do you need to get to Relic 8 and Relic 9? Aeromagnifiers, and you need plenty of them. And what I'm wondering is if they pulled them back because they don't like how many guilds are able to fill operations. Like, my guild can fill operations. We don't have problems filling our operations. We can get these done. And what makes me wonder is, are they pulling them back because they don't want people to be able to complete these operations and get stars earlier than they should? Again, I don't know, guys. This is maybe like the most negative I've been about this. I think we need time to digest it. I think there's a lot changing. I don't know that this is the final iteration of rewards, but it seems like they really want to pull back on Aeromagnifiers. And if that's the case, it really is a shame, because I think it's going to completely change the way that you're going to have to look at farming, not only as a free-to-play, but also even as an endgame player. You're going to have to really understand how to use those Aeromagnifiers, because I, for one, just take them for granted, because as you guys saw, I had over 770 of them, because they just would accumulate in the Challenge Pit Raid, because I'd get so many of them that I wouldn't know what to do with them. So I'm wondering if they're pulling them back to try and get these newer players to have to spend crystals on them. That's probably the most negative I'll be about these reward changes. And I think, again, I love the option that you get to choose stuff. I think that is fantastic. That's been missing for a very long time. But if it comes at the cost of Aeromagnifiers leaving, I don't know if I'm a fan. The other thing I would say is if they either change the currency or lower the cost. I think that it's a bit rich for Aeromagnifiers in the game right now, because even to get them, I mean, you look at the crystals involved, and you're looking at 250 crystals a pop for an Aeromagnifier, compared to an impulse detector where it's 180. That's a pretty steep decline there. I don't know, guys. That's just something I've been thinking of a little bit. So while I'm letting you chew on that, because I have one other thing to mention, we need to pay homage to our king, Wampa. If you guys want to see Wampa hit Relic 8 live on stream, all you need to do, get this channel to 5,000 subscribers. When we hit 5,000, Wampa will hit Relic 8, because Wampa is king. There's going to be special live stream where we'll take Wampa to Relic 8. We'll throw out some other stuff. We'll have a lot of fun on that stream. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Alright, so I spoke about Aeromagnifiers, and I said that's a change that I think is going to be very, very important. What I'm wondering is, I always said that you buy your impulse detectors with crystals because the Aeromagnifiers you're getting for free from the pit raid. My assumption now is that you're going to want to get these impulse detectors in any other way possible, which could be through Rise of the Empire, right? Rise of the Empire, like, you can earn these using that currency. So If you do that, if you use that for your impulse detectors and save your crystals for Aeromagnifiers, I think that's going to be the best bet right now. If Capital Games does nothing to change the rewards, you're going to have to switch up the way that you farm these. That no longer can you rely on the challenge pit raid to get you your Aeromagnifiers. You're saving up crystals, right? You're going to have to be saving up these crystals most likely. Comparative to your impulse detectors, where I think you could definitely be buying these through your Rise of the Empire currency. You can craft them. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it's very late. But I would save your guild store currency like this for Aeromagnifiers instead. So that's the video, guys. I think that's the most down I've been about this crate raid again. I've covered a lot of it. I've been trying to give it to you guys in pieces. I don't want to say I don't have a negative attitude about it. Some people think I've been too positive, and if I've been too positive, I apologize. I enjoy new content. It means that they're continuing to grow this game. That, you know, the classic, oh, Star Wars Galaxy Heroes is dying. Like, it's not dying. It's evolving. They're definitely changing some things, but you know, you've got to give them time to get it right. But that's the video, guys. I mean, that's all I've got for you. Again, I know that this is not, you know, the most ideal situation, but I think, again, reiterating everything, I think with Aeromagnifiers now, you've got to be just using crystals for them. I think that's what my farming guides, any advice I put out is going to be centered around the fact that you need to spend crystals on your Aeromagnifiers, and that your impulse detectors you're either crafting or you're using your guild event currency 3. That's the video. As always, I love all you guys. May the force be with you, and I'm going to leave you off on a character that we'll be putting to Relic 8 in no time, guys. Wampa is king. You all are scholars, gentlemen, ladies, and most importantly, my friends. Love you all. Cheers.